Welcome to the Pythagorean Theorem podcast. Sit down and relax. Listen while you commute to work, or enjoy a nice evening with family surrounded by a Christmas tree and roasting chestnuts. Wherever you are or whatever you're doing, prepare yourself for a session of awkwardness. All right, so my name is Shmev. Real name is Evan, but I'm called Shmev. This is another Evan, so you don't get confused.
Yes.
This is Presley. And we have our bald friend Zach calling in, who is sick right now and wasn't able to be here. We're also going to have Presley's brother Leighton here, but he wasn't able to be here because he's also sick. You know, yesterday when we were testing out the tech, and you talked about the story of your birth.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't hear this?
No, I didn't.
I thought this was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
this will be new for me.
Just tell us what you told us.
Well, we were in the middle of troubleshooting and they asked me to tell the story of my birth. And I just started some BS. I started saying that I was like a 22-pound baby and how I was like the South's largest baby to ever be born. And they were like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No, you idiots. I'm not 22 pounds.
I believed you.
I did too.
You did?
We have the
22
video.
pounds?
We have the video on your laptop.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to
we
be
could
fair,
plug that
I'm
in on
very
We could put that in.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
hilarious.
gosh.
No, until it
I
took
will
you
skip
saying
it.
"I'm just kidding" for us to be like, "Oh, yeah."
Well,
I guess that would be dumb.
So you guys did believe that there was a 22-pound baby?
Yes, I was
Wow.
like, "Dear goodness."
I thought he
I
came
would-
out
I
a
would-
4-year-old.
For real. And I was born at 6 years old.
How long were you in there? Goodness.
Yeah. Well, it's Christmas
Hold on.
Eve, guys.
Yeah.
That
How
is
we
very
doing?
true.
The 23rd. You know, I'm excited. I think.
Pretty good.
I feel this way kind of leading up to the weekend. Like I look more forward to Friday than I do sometimes Saturday and
Christmas
Sunday.
Eve?
Yeah. Same thing with Christmas Eve. Like
Okay.
going into it, it's all that hype that's been building up for the entire month of December.
I get that, yeah.
So
And then December 26th for me is the most depressing day of the year.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because then you have to
wait
wait
all
a whole
year for Christmas. And then, yeah,
Well, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
you do wait for Christmas.
I do.
That is true.
I could celebrate all year round. All right. So we ranked our top 5 favorite Christmas movies. So how we're going to do this is, Evan, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Evan will start with his 5th, and then I'll do my 5th, and Presley's, and then Zach's, and then we'll all do just one apiece. So
Is it honorable mentions?
Also-
yeah, if you have an honorable
Yeah.
mention,
All right.
do that.
So for my top 5 favorite Christmas movies, my one honorable mention, it just didn't quite make the cut, was the Grinch Christmas movies.
Okay.
Because I grew up watching the. I grew up watching.
Zach looks so confused.
I grew up watching. Wow, I already feel the
so
disappointment.
disappointed.
You're disappointed. Matt, we'll get into that. Okay, just let me
Yes.
speak. We'll get into it. I don't need your
Okay.
eyes of disappointment on me.
Fine.
So I grew up watching The Grinch. It's a movie that I always liked. It's one that I always watched with family and close family friends. I have lots of memories of.
Cartoon or
watching
live
the movie.
action?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to get into, is because the live action was the one I grew up with.
Yeah.
But the reason why it got knocked down the list is because then I saw the animated one, which I've only seen once or twice, which is a lot newer. And I realized, oh, this is just a much better movie.
Yeah.
Well, there's
So-
the animated one that's newer, but there's also the one that was made in the 70s or the 60s.
I have
Oh.
admittedly not seen the one that was made in the 70s or the 60s.
That's the
So-
because it was Dr. Seuss. It was a book first.
Yes, that is true.
But okay, so that's your honorable mention.
Yes, my honorable
Okay.
mention is the Grinch, just because the
The Jim Carrey is also always good.
exactly.
That is a
exactly.
good one.
All right. Does anybody else have any honorable mentions, or should I get into?
Yeah, I have an
five?
honorable mention. I have
All right,
2. Hold on, let me look
sure.
at my list. I have
You-
2 honorable mentions.
2 honorable mentions.
I am a Christmas geek for the ones listening, so it's really hard for me to
This is true.
pick my top 5. But I have 2 honorable mentions, and they are A Christmas Carol. There's a ton of different Christmas carols. There's the one with Jim Carrey that's animated. There's the one in I think the first one was made in the 30s. Or I don't know. It was Charles Dickens is because it was a book first before a movie.
Mm.
I don't really care which one, but I like A Christmas Carol, and then A Christmas Story with like you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah.
I watch that like Christmas Day every year.
I was about to say that didn't make your top 5.
Yeah, it didn't make your top 5.
No,
No?
it
Wow.
was close.
Okay.
Wow.
That-
We'll,
make my
we'll
top
get into
5
that later. We'll
That-
discuss that later.
Yeah, that's a really good one, but
Man.
no, that did not make my top 5. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I actually didn't, but not one just came to me. Have you seen Jingle All the Way with,
Yeah, with-
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, it's actually very good.
Yeah. I've seen that one once or twice.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
bad.
man.
but
It's not bad.
It's kind of cheesy.
It is. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite,
Yeah.
but it deserves to be mentioned.
Zach, you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah. What was it? The oh shoot. What was the newest Spider-Man movie called?
Oh my God. That does not count.
No,
that does not count.
That's gotta count. Come on.
No,
There was
whatever.
Christmas
Whatever.
music
We'll
in that
talk- we
movie. It is a Christmas movie.
That's like saying Die
gotta
Hard's
count.
Christmas movie. I don't know.
All right,
Oh, you think
we'll
that
get,
too?
No, we'll
Okay.
get to that later. We
Okay.
already know what's coming.
Whatever.
Okay.
we'll talk about the Spider-Man movie later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right,
So
let
number
me-
5, Evan.
Let me jump into number 5. All right, so this is the only one where I kind of cheated a little bit because I have 2 movies tied for number 5, and that is the Santa Claus 1 and the Santa Claus 2 that has Tim Allen.
okay.
Those are movies that I've always liked, and yes, I know Tim
Those are good
Allen can
ones.
sometimes be a little Tim Allen-y, if that makes sense. But no, but those are movies that I always enjoyed. I've watched them a lot with my mom and different stuff growing up. And the reason why they're tied is because the first movie, I feel like, has a better structure to it and probably a better story. But the second movie, it just has more going on. It's like more fun. There's just like a little bit more like chaos or whatever to it. So those are movies I've always enjoyed. So I'm very happy with those movies.
I haven't seen that in a couple years.
I know it's been a while. They
been a
they
long time.
are
I
a
saw
bit-
one the other night actually.
No, yeah,
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, no,
Still haven't seen
I
them
really
in
like
years.
the first 2 a lot. The third one, you're kind of like, but the first 2, I'm a big
It's a
fan
little
of.
Jack Frost.
Yeah, the third one has Jack Frost,
Yeah.
and I haven't even seen the 4th one. I don't think I want
There's
to.
a 4th one?
There
I
is.
thought there was 3.
I thought
There's
there
a
was 2 until I
4th?
googled it the other day. I'm pretty sure there's a 4th.
Are you sure?
I mean, I can
my
double check
God.
real quick as Evan's given his number 5.
Tim Allen.
Or
needs to
Schmev,
stick to
sorry.
Toy Story.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, my number 5. This was a hard list. I thought about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
But now my number 5 is Polar Express.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've watched that already 2 times.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Tom Hanks plays like 5 different characters.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, he's the conductor, he's the dad, he's the ghost, and he's Santa.
Okay.
He's great in that movie, I think. It's got a really good story to it. I don't know, there's some action, and there's some like, I don't know, there's the ghost on the train. You don't really realize he's a ghost until like later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's a really good movie, but it's not like my favorite.
Well, to this day, that still messes with me, like what that ghost represents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still don't really
Mhm.
understand it.
I will say I thought about that movie, but it did not quite make my list. I thought about that movie though.
Mhm.
Now over A Christmas Story. Okay.
Mhm.
Barely, but yeah, I would say
How close?
honorable
Real
mentions
talk.
like Christmas Carol is probably 7, and then Christmas Story is 6.
Okay. Okay.
What were you
So-
saying?
Real talk. I have never seen A Christmas Story.
Really?
What?
That's a classic.
Never.
Really?
Not once.
I am
We watch
shocked.
Man.
there's a channel on Christmas Day that it runs the entire Christmas day, and we just like
Wow.
keep it on that channel every year.
Did not know
Yeah.
that.
I did not
Watch
know that.
You
Sounds
like
good.
have you heard about it? Like you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Like that's a big
Mhm.
thing.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Just
the
the
movie
BB gun
tons of
and-
times. And
yeah.
I know.
Try to watch
Yeah,
that.
I know
It's
Evan's
pretty-
family watches it all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Preston, what's your 5th?
My 5th, a lot of these are probably going to overlap,
Mhm.
but for me, it actually is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Just
Oh.
because, like, for a couple of years there, me and my family would like traditionally watch it on Christmas
Yes,
Day, as
yep.
many people do.
Yep.
So that makes my number 5. It's
Mhm.
not my absolute favorite movie. I don't know why. It's not. It gets to a certain point in the movie where I kind of get disengaged.
It's a long movie, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
like
For a Christmas
for
movie.
a
it's
Christmas
long.
movie.
Yeah.
So that's why it's at number 5.
Okay. All right.
Classic though.
Yeah. Zach, what you got?
So at number 5, I have Die Hard.
Oh
course
my
you do.
goodness!
Oh, of course
That's
you
why
do.
you made that face when I said Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yes, and the reason why is because every year you watch the same Christmas movies, and I don't mean to say that all Christmas movies are the same because they're not, but it's nice to change it up and actually have some action thrown in the mix.
That's
And to
true.
say Die Hard is a Christmas movie is nothing less than a fact. So that is my number 5.
I mean, Die Hard is a very good movie. I will give you that. It is a good movie, but just I don't know. I feel like just with that classification, just with it being around Christmas or having like just having it be around Christmas time, then wouldn't that make it to where there's like 40 million different Christmas movies?
Hey, Spider-Man's a Christmas movie. I don't know what
Oh
else
my
to tell
gosh,
you.
no.
It's the Spider-Man movie.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you and go to number 4. Also, I will say I have already spread lies and misinformation. There have been talks that a Santa Claus 4 will come out at some point, but it's not actually come out. But there have been talks about it.
I was about to
Okay.
say,
Yes, I know.
That
I'm
makes
already
sense.
spreading lies.
yeah.
All right, and then for my number 4 spot, I have one that's another classic. It is Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
Good one.
And that's a movie that we actually, my family and I just saw that movie the other night,
Mhm.
and it just is a really funny movie. It's very different from a lot of different movies. I feel like in terms of the comedy of it. And just like different things. Like when I watched it the other night, I didn't realize how many windows broke in that movie. Like I rewatched.
Fire.
Yeah, there's fire.
So
there's
many.
Yeah, there really is. Like I want to rewatch the movie and just count how many windows get broken because
Yeah.
it's so many more than I thought.
Well, I haven't seen
But-
it yet this year, so
Okay.
and I guess I have like 2 days now.
You
but,
have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Uncle Eddie
count. I'm gonna
is
count.
one of the best Christmas characters.
Oh, yeah, no,
Did
it's
your
not-
dad dress up as Uncle Eddie?
Yeah, my
Oh,
dad.
yeah.
We had some of our family Christmas the other day, and my dad dressed up as Uncle Eddie, and it was he put something in his belly for the beer belly and everything. It looked really good.
It's hilarious.
But
Well,
Slicked
honestly,
his hair
the
back.
fact
Yeah.
that he has to put something in his belly to look
Mm.
fat is the impressive part,
yeah,
in my opinion.
no, Christmas Vacation. That's a really good one.
Yes.
My number 4, I have Home Alone 2.
okay.
I'm on 2.
Mm.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't know. It's not as good as the first one. I feel like it's still really good. The story I feel like is not as good as the first one. I feel like they almost kind of, I don't know, forced the movie a little bit. Like it did really well for the first one.
Yeah.
Some of it didn't make sense.
Mm.
And I can go into that later on in my list. I still think it's really good. Home Alone, if you like anything past the first and second Home Alone, there's just something wrong with you. Any Home Alone that doesn't have Kevin McAllister in it is not good.
Well, there's like 3 more.
yeah,
There's 2. There's a third and a fourth.
I
that
didn't
were,
even
think,
know that there was more.
yeah, like the early 2000s, I think. But they came out with a 5th one here
Mhm.
recently.
Mhm. Yeah, I watched the third one time and I was like, I'm done. I can't. It just was not good. Number 4 for you.
This is tough.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna have to say Polar Express
Oh wow. Okay.
because I don't know. It's a good movie, and I actually didn't know a whole lot about it. Like I said, it's not something I have to watch every year.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Was it Tom Hanks that,
Yeah.
that played like 4 or 5
Yeah.
different characters?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah.
But after hearing that, I was like, okay, that's a cool aspect of the movie. There's a whole lot of representations, I feel
Mhm.
like, that are in that movie, a lot of metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, it's pretty cool. And it's a good children's movie.
Yeah.
So like it touches a lot of bases, has great voice
Yeah.
acting.
Well, I was having this conversation with my family Christmas the other day. Like my uncle and my dad and my aunt were all like, "Yeah, we love Polar Express." So like it's animated,
Yeah.
but adults still love it.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know. It's a pretty good story too.
It is.
So
It is.
Zach, what's your
That
number
it is.
4?
Great movie. No, my number 4 is also Polar Express. I
Nice.
absolutely
Wow.
love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Polar Express, I remember watching as a kid for the first time. And this actually has a funny story to it. When I was in grade school, before I was homeschooled, there was this kid who loved trains. Like he was that really weird
Was it the kid
that
with the
was
yellow
like,
shirt and glasses?
I like trains. Yeah. It was essentially that kid
You
from
went
the
to your
movie.
school.
And he was like, "Oh my God, you got to watch Polar Express. You got to watch Polar Express. It's the best movie ever. It's the best movie ever." Because it's got a train in it. And I was like, "You're freaking weird, kid. I don't know what you're talking about." I went home and watched Polar Express. It was a great experience.
Yeah. I remember seeing that in the movie theaters. My mom took me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
loved it.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
year was that? Like
2004.
Oh, in theaters.
I was 4 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
I guess I'm just gonna be the black sheep of the group because I do not have that. It's a good movie, but I do not have it on my
That's
list.
fair.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it. I know
Nah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to show up somewhere. I wasn't expecting there to be full representation from everyone else.
Yeah.
I will say for my third movie, I think this is one that nobody else is going to have. It is a very new one. It is Christmas Chronicles.
I saw
yeah,
it
it
the
came
other
out
day.
like
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
it came out in
It's
2018.
on Netflix.
Yeah, it has.
There's 2 of them now.
Yeah, there are 2 of them now, and that actually is true. Unlike my Santa Claus stuff, but it stars Kurt Russell. I believe there's a family in Chicago. They're doing stuff, but I don't know why I like that movie so much. Because I can't explain it as well as I can with the other entries on my list.
Well,
but it's just
With that one, it's not like your normal Santa Claus.
It's not. It's very
You
different.
haven't seen it.
Mm.
It's like the Santa is like really cool and like just like how anybody else would be, instead of like this just like this magical fit. Like he's still got
Yeah.
some magic in him or
Is
whatever.
he scrawny?
he does.
And yeah, he's not like fat. He
No,
kind of
he's-
he kind of makes fun of that in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
exactly. He does because it's just like Kurt Russell in a Santa suit. I mean,
Yeah.
he has a beard, but it's not
Yeah.
like
Wow.
they don't really do much else to him. It's just Kurt Russell.
There's a
But-
scene, and I don't want to give away too much, but there's a scene of him and a few other people like
Is it-
singing and jamming out
Yes,
the music.
I was
and
gonna
he has
mention-
a band and stuff.
I was gonna
wow.
mention that scene
Yeah.
when he's in the jail and
Yeah.
whatnot. That's just
Yeah.
that's arguably my favorite
Yeah,
scene.
but
It
if you
is
haven't
very
seen
funny.
it's worth a watch.
It
It's
is
pretty
worth a
good.
watch.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it. That's the reason why I got number 3.
Yeah.
I know I can't really explain it as well as the
Mhm.
other ones, and it's a bit newer, but it's just
Right.
it's just a movie I really enjoy.
Right.
Mm.
All right. So my top 3, it changes pretty much every year. But this year, my number 3 is Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Number 3?
Number 3.
Wow.
It changes. There's movies that it's just they're so good it's hard to rank. But Christmas Vacation is one of those movies I have to watch every year. I mean, you got Uncle Eddie and Chevy Chase's character, and I can't remember the grandmother. That,
Oh, yeah, she's a good character. Yeah.
says the Pledge of Allegiance when she
Oh,
should
yeah,
be
exactly,
praying.
yeah.
That scene kills me every
The
time.
flag.
That's just the chaos that ensues in that movie.
Yeah.
That's just it's so good.
I remember
and I feel like people can relate to that.
Yeah.
I don't know, not just like some of the chaos. I mean, some of that's not very realistic.
No.
But I mean, we got some crazy and weird family members that come, and I don't know. But like when Chevy Chase's son is gifted the cat, and the cat's just kind of.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a funny part. But,
It is, yeah.
That's a great movie. I love that movie.
It's like as if your family, all your relatives, were to be their craziest self.
Mhm.
Like it's in some of them
Yeah.
to be that crazy.
Yeah.
If they were to actually be crazy and it was all displayed in a movie,
Mhm.
that represents it pretty
Right.
well.
Yeah. Number
So.
3.
Number 3, I keep going back and forth on whether or not to make this an honorable mention, just because it's really not that well known. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh no,
Wait,
you've definitely heard of that. yeah.
Another
Oh, yeah,
Tim
of course.
Allen one. Well, people
Yeah.
don't really talk about that one a whole lot, I feel like.
No,
I mean, to be fair, it's not talked about a lot.
That's
That's
not-
another good movie, though.
Yeah.
that's not a movie I have to watch every year. But if it's on, I'll watch it. I
Yeah,
caught
yeah.
about 30 minutes or an hour of it the
Mhm.
other day.
We'll see with my family, like we really love like some of those scenes. Like after he gets like Botox and
Yeah.
stuff, and he's like poking himself.
Yeah.
That just kills us. That's one that we like have to see every
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
So that's why.
All right, and you're number 3.
Christmas Vacation. I'm
There
with
you
you,
go.
Oh
Smith.
wow. So,
I think it's a number 3. Christmas Vacation is a classic.
Mhm.
Filling up the what. I don't feel like I'm allowed to curse on this podcast, but yeah, great movie. I don't see how that can't be
Yeah,
in your
that
top 3. To be honest,
Could very well be number 1 on my list, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't be mad at it. That
Yeah.
some years it is number 1.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Did it ever make number one
Oh yeah.
in years
That's
past?
been my
Yeah.
favorite before,
Yeah.
but it changes. All right, so
I
we're down to
gotcha.
number 2 now.
all right, now we're down to number 2, and I believe this will be the highest ranking on the list for this movie. It is the classic A Christmas Story.
Okay.
It is.
Oh, yours is higher.
Mine is
Okay.
higher. That is a movie because it was between that and you'll hear number 1 obviously in the next go around, but it was between that and number 1. I'm like, no, this is definitely number 2. And just that movie, it's a classic for so many reasons. It has so many memorable scenes and so many different Christmas movies feed off of that. Whether it's like like double or triple dog daring and your tongue gets stuck to the icy pole, or if it's like the red-eyed bully and obviously the you'll shoot your eye out with the red BB gun. It has so many different moments in classics. Oh, and how could I forget the best one, to where he comes down in like that pink bunny suit.
Oh, yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I don't want to wear this.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That
because
is
gives to him.
one of the only Christmas movies that I feel like could be based on a true story.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could see that kind of happening in like a weird something.
Yeah,
just-
and so I think that makes it relatable and just a better movie because of that. Yeah.
it does, yes. But no,
I'm
I love
starting
that
to-
movie.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say?
No,
Zach?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say I'm starting to feel like all of our number ones is gonna be the same.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I mean, we'll get to
I'm
that.
surprised there's one now that you only have number one.
I
There's
only
a
have
movie
one left.
I feel like everyone has seen that I don't think you have.
I
Because
may
if you
not.
have, I feel like it'd be top 5. But
Potentially, we can discuss more of that after
yeah.
we all give our list. We can
Yeah.
go back and talk about it.
Yeah.
But A Christmas Story, it's a classic.
Yeah.
I love it. To
Not
me,
mad at
only
that.
one Christmas movie beats it out.
Yeah.
So now, Shmev, what is your number 2?
number 2 is Home Alone 1.
Oh,
Like I said, Home Alone 2 is good, but it's not as good as the first one. I feel like, I mean, Home Alone, like how you're gonna leave your kid twice? That's just not. That's not realistic.
How are you going to leave your kid at all?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it has happened.
Yeah,
That's
and
realistic.
then
But
the
like,
same 2 characters broke out of jail, and they just happen to be in the same
Yeah.
city as
Oh,
them.
that sounds pretty realistic. Yeah.
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 No, Christmas 2 or Christmas 2. Home Alone 2 is good, but Home Alone 1 is such a good movie. And I mean, you can be like, "Oh, how did they forget their own son?" Well, and I've noticed this every time. There's a YouTube video I found a few years ago, but when Kevin, I forget what happened. Like the drink like spills on the table and like goes on
Like the
the
soda.
plane tickets, and
Yeah.
the dad is cleaning up on the table, and when he's cleaning up, he accidentally, you can see he throws away Kevin's plane ticket, and you can see it says Kevin on it.
Oh.
That's why when they were counting the plane tickets, I guess they just didn't see it and they were in a rush. So they made it make sense.
Wow.
Yeah, they made it make
Didn't
sense.
notice
And the
that.
second one, it's still good and it's funny, but I just feel like it's not as like, I don't know. It just seems a little more forced. Where I feel like the first one was just
That one's just
perfect.
kind of there for pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just entertainment.
Yeah.
Like if this were to happen again, which is not very
Mhm.
realistic.
Which is why they didn't make a third one with all of the same characters.
Is that why?
I'm guessing
Probably.
so. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
what's your
they're
number
gonna
2?
forget their kid a third and a
Right.
fourth and a
Right.
fifth time. Yeah,
Right.
they're just terrible parents.
Yeah.
What are we on? 2 or 3?
Two.
2? Okay. I trade this one out with my number 1, which I'm not gonna say yet. But for me, I'm gonna say Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Okay.
Just because that is one I definitely have to see every year. My
Mhm.
family loves it. Like everyone in my family, like extended family, loves that movie. There's so many quotable things from it.
There are, yeah.
It's a classic. I love it. I actually didn't know this, but there's actually other vacation type
Yeah.
movies. Which
No,
I,
yeah.
Like
I didn't
National
know
Lampoon
that.
and all that.
Yeah,
It's
National Lampoon.
There's a good one where they go to Europe, I think.
Oh yeah,
I've heard that one's
yeah.
better than some of the others.
I don't know.
They made a
I like
lot.
the Christmas Vacation one more than the Europe one.
Oh
but-
yeah, me too.
The Christmas Vacation one is the best one. I
yeah.
feel.
And I
Yeah.
think like in every movie, all the kids are different,
I think so.
which is kind of weird.
I think
but
the wife is the same.
I think so.
think
I
so.
don't know. I haven't seen all of them, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, number 2. That's
Zach?
that one.
Y'all are gonna call me crazy.
We
My
already
number
do.
2 is
Just say it.
Home Alone 2.
Okay.
That's
Home
not-
Alone
that's not
2.
crazy. That's
Okay,
not
so not
crazy.
the first one, just Home Alone
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
Because I already
Home
know what your number
Alone.
1 is.
Yeah, Home Alone did not make my list, but Home Alone 2 I've always loved way
Okay.
more than the first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why.
I
think
still
it's
love
the
the
setting
movie.
in New York.
Mm.
Like especially like with the toy shop in the second one,
Hmm.
I felt like was always like an iconic scene. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Actually-
I love that movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually did like the second better than the first. I watched that one more growing up for whatever reason.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, same here. And plus it was always on TV more. So
Hmm.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
And
so
now-
number 1.
For my opinion, it's the best Christmas. I mean, I think
I feel like all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
all
think some
gonna
of
be
us are
the
going to
same.
share.
Yeah.
Except for Zach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his is Spider-Man.
What?
Obviously.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
Spider-Man,
I mean
obviously.
it's obvious. It can only be it's Elf. It's Elf with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
Elf.
it's.
Elf.
Elf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So we can
yeah,
all.
it's
It's just
unanimous.
it is
Not even close.
It's
if
not
if
even
you're
close,
listening,
no.
if you have anything
Yeah.
different, you're just wrong.
Yeah,
exactly.
you are. I'm sorry.
Because with me, I'm not even a Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah.
He is funny in some things like
Hold on.
Anchorman or like more Cowbell, and he's been in Step Brothers. Like he's been in a lot of funny stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of him. But in Elf, he works so perfectly, and just everything with the movie is just like it has so many quotable lines. Like I could probably quote the entire movie. I could
yeah.
watch the whole thing in my head. Just it's
And the-
not only in my opinion the best Christmas movie. To me, it's just one of my favorite movies. Period. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And the guy who played was it Santa? He just died.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was the voice of
he?
Just recently.
Carl from Up. Carl, right?
Yeah, the old
Oh,
man.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was the same person.
Yeah,
But no,
he
you're
was
right,
like
yeah.
he was in his 90s.
He's
He
been
was
in
getting
a
old.
lot of stuff,
Yeah.
actually.
And the
But,
guy, the Papa Elf, he's looking rough. I looked up a picture
No,
of him
you
the other
should- you
day,
should look him
and
up.
that man looks like death.
no.
There's no way around it.
he's pretty
I'm
rough.
sure he's doing good.
Poor guy.
Golly.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like the Grim Reaper.
Oh no. Maybe it's just the Grinch. Maybe it's just growing to that level.
I don't know. But yeah, Elf is
Oh.
easy. Like, there's
Yeah.
there's love in it, and there's like,
Christmas.
well, yeah, there's a love story in it. There's a story of a kid finding his dad. All the Christmas stuff. That's just perfect. But yeah, that's our top 5 Christmas movies. Speaking of
Yes.
movies, if you don't want any spoilers, skip to this time. We'll put a timestamp in the video version. But yeah, if you don't want any spoilers, just skip until you don't hear us talk about it anymore. Saw the Spider-Man movie Friday.
Yes.
Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Yes, and
Oh
I
my god.
was.
Whoa.
You guys know, and I know you kind of think the same way.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but there's more and more people that I've heard kind of have the same opinion as me, which makes me feel a little better. I just think a lot of the Marvel movies are overrated, and
Yeah.
there's no way. I
agree.
They're hyped up like the next coming of Jesus.
They are.
They come out, and don't get me
Little
wrong,
bit,
they're good movies.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how? I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. There's a lot of movies I'd rather see, but this movie, there are not many movies I'd rather see than this one. I could go back and watch it right now again.
Yeah.
I do want to see it again.
Yeah,
I'm going back.
I think
me
it's
too.
easily my favorite Marvel movie in the past 10 years.
It's my favorite Marvel movie ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Yeah. I'm still thinking if it beats like, I don't know, like, Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It might be. If you have watched it, I mean, obviously you've seen Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire.
Mm.
Yes.
I did not think they were going to be in it.
I
There was a
could
lot
not
of
believe it.
speculation.
I didn't.
I did. I mean, when you consider this, if they weren't in the movie, that would be one of the biggest Marvel letdowns of all time. That
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
would have sold no tickets. People
Yeah.
would have heard about it, and it would have went nowhere. So
Yeah.
they had to
after
do it.
opening day. Yeah.
Well, the fact that we had the old villains, I thought was cool alone, and I was
Yeah.
happy about that.
I was still going to see it just for that.
Yeah.
So-
The first like 25 minutes of it, I was a little scared. I was like, oh, it's Peter Parker 3. Here we go.
Yeah.
It was just him and Zendaya in college, and it's like, oh my gosh, I paid money for this.
Yeah, that's what the first 2 movies were all like. It wasn't a Spider-Man
Hey, some
movie. It's more-
some people want to see that. Okay.
Oh, it's right. We
Well,
know
then
some
they should
people-
name it
love
Peter
story.
Parker. They shouldn't name it Spider-Man.
But that's a part of him. That's the
Sure.
the give and take. Like
Yeah.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man, they have to be one, and that's the whole dynamic
Sure.
between the two.
Yeah,
Is that it's a constant balance and battle for that.
but it ain't no balance. It's a good 80-20%.
I'm gonna
of
be
Peter
honest.
Parker and
I thought
Spider-Man.
the original trilogy with Tobey Maguire was more Peter Parker than Spider. I felt like at the time as a kid, like there was just not enough Spider-Man
That's
action.
probably because we were kids.
Yeah,
we
and
just
we-
wanted all Spider-Man.
Yeah, and we grew up watching the cartoons, and so for me to like watch like if in real life, if this happened, how would an actual human being deal with it? Not just for pure entertainment cartoon,
Yeah.
you know.
But I've gone back and like, 'cause, people like will record and try not for anyone to see it. Like
in the
when
theater.
Andrew Garfield came in and Toby came in, I get chills just about every time I watch it. That, oh man, there was one video I saw on TikTok the other day. I wish it was like this when we went to see it, but they were watching the movie and it sounded like you were in like a basketball arena. It was so loud.
Yes.
And people were like jumping up and down. And,
the crowd we saw it was just so boring. I was screaming. I was like
at a kid's like, I don't know.
I was having a good time.
Little ballet, little
kids
recital.
concert.
Yeah.
Even if no one else
job.
clapped, like there was only like 2 times they really clapped. When Andrew came through the portal, when Toby came through it, I was like, I don't care if anyone else is clapping. I'm going ham.
Yeah. And the scene that like, I wouldn't say blew my mind, but it was just like,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
So cool. When Zendaya was falling, MJ was falling.
Oh yeah.
And Toby, was gonna save her, and
not Toby.
No, not Toby.
Tom. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tom was gonna save her. Green Goblin coming to nowhere, hit her, and Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, saw her and was like,
"Not again,
not again,
not doing it again."
Redemption. Like even seeing it in the trailer, I was like, because you see Tom Holland reaching for Zendaya. I was like, that looks a lot like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Or the second one, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Amazing. Andrew's second.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one where another spoiler. Gwen dies.
Yeah.
So,
Zach, I told this before. Aunt May, the actress.
Well, let him guess.
Yeah. How old do you think she is?
Oh, well, I already know. She's 57.
Oh,
that is nuts.
It is nuts. It's absolutely insane. That
she looks mid-30s,
like
40
32.
maybe. Yeah. She's beautiful.
She can get it. God.
If she's, I don't even know. Her and, let's see, who's about the same age as her? Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey's in his mid-50s.
How old is he?
He's like 55, 56.
He's still okay.
How old is Jim Carrey?
I think so. Maybe earlier 50s.
Jim Carrey is 59 years.
There you
59.
go. Jim Carrey's 2 years older than her.
Yeah.
Him, I would guess, about that age, maybe early 60s. Like, that is nuts. She took care of herself.
See. Courtney Cox is 57. Sandra Bullock is 57.
To me, she just looks like Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, is he?
Well, is that another spoiler?
But ugly.
That's a conspiracy.
What'd you think of it, Evan?
Okay, so I have a bit of a different perspective from it, just because I do want to start off saying it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. The reason why I'm saying I have a different perspective of it is because I'm kind of known, either like with my family or in my friend group, as I'm not really the Marvel guy. I'm not even huge into superheroes. I like Spider-Man. I like Batman. That's kind of it. So I'm not as huge into it. And admittedly, I did not see the Spider-Man prior to this. I have seen Spider-Mans in the past, but I did not see the one leading
Andrew?
up.
You don't.
No, not with Andrew. The one with Tom Holland right before
It's pretty boring.
Yeah, I did not see that movie, so I didn't have. I mean, I kind of knew what was happening, but I didn't have all the context.
Well, this one blew the other two just out of the water.
Oh yeah,
no comparison.
Oh yeah, again, it was a good movie. For me, the reason why the movie I don't rank it higher or rank it as like an unbelievable movie is, at least for people like me who don't keep up with the Marvel universe, the multiverse. It just had such a slow beginning to it for me. Just the beginning was so painfully boring, and just to me, it was not. It just wasn't really enjoyable, if I'm being completely honest. Up until once you got to Doctor Strange house and the spell happened, to at least for me personally, that is when the movie began. And I just wish that the first however long it would have been either condensed or they would have swapped it out with something else. Because from there on out, I thought that the rest of the movie, for the most part, was fantastic. Yeah. And just for that beginning portion, at least for someone who's not a Marvel fan or doesn't really keep up with it, it was just far too slow. It was like, I wish I could have just pressed skip forward. Yeah. Wasn't it like 20, 30 minutes? Maybe not 30, but like 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes. I mean, they could have started the movie at the bridge scene as far as I was concerned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, the bridge scene was when...
That's when I was like, okay. okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, seeing Alfred Molina come back.
Oh, my
that was,
goodness.
I will say the acting in the movie was a lot better than I thought it'd be. Because I know this sounds strange and weird, but in movies with a whole bunch of like big name actors, for some reason I kind of get scared that just the acting in it won't be amazing. Like I feel like a good
DC.
example of it, either DC
Yeah.
or like The Expendables, where it has like every big name person ever, but the acting in it is kind of eh. But the acting in this movie I thought was really, really good overall. Tom Holland. This, believe it or not, was actually my first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie because I didn't see the other two.
That's
I've seen
okay.
Andrew Garfield.
That's okay.
I've seen Tobey Maguire, but Tom Holland was a much better actor than I thought he would be.
Mhm.
Him and Zendaya actually did work really well.
He actually said recently he kind of wants to take a break from acting. So,
Has he?
Yeah, I mean, he's
Okay.
gone back and forth on
Because
that.
he said he wanted to start a
Said
family.
he wants to
and stuff.
focus on a family.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is like crazy.
I mean,
Being with
no,
Zendaya,
no.
he's like, "Hey, I want to start a family."
Well, you know they're dating
Like-
in real life, right?
I'm
Yes,
looking
yeah,
right
they
at
are.
her.
Yeah.
I'm ready to lock this down.
oh, yes.
But yeah, if you haven't seen the movie,
Yes.
go see the movie.
No, it's
Oh, yes.
amazing.
It's worth it, even if you don't even like Marvel or
Well, see,
Superman.
I feel like that's
or
a lot of
Spider-Man
people
that
going
much.
into it. Like, even if you aren't like a superhero movie person, like what you were saying,
Yeah, exactly.
people still love Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Oh, I know. It was a great movie. I will say, if you don't care a ton about like the Marvel Universe and like the build up from the last movie and whatnot, I would personally recommend that you just skip straight to where you see Doctor Strange and you're at his house. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Because just it will save you 20 minutes from boredom and whatnot. Again, I think I'm the only person at this table that that has that opinion. But if you're not a Marvel person, or if you don't care about the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Spider-Man previously before it, just go straight to Doctor Strange's house, start the movie there.
Well, drifting away
Now,
from that.
I have an opinion.
Oh,
All right.
I have one more opinion to share
Okay.
before we drift off into a different subject.
There
I have been battling with this for over a week now. Well, wait, it hasn't even been a week. It's felt like more than a week. Everyone talks about how Endgame is the best Marvel movie because it really is like the culmination of all of the Marvel movies in that entire series just coming together into one movie. And like, that's cool. I get that. But when it comes to this movie, I feel like you have the same sort of like gratification and apex that this movie gives you just for Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
it is insane how awesome it all comes together. And I'm just going to say that because I've been thinking Endgame, Spider-Man. I'm going to say Spider-Man's better.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people are saying. I still think that
Yeah.
I'm predicting this is going to reach number one, like box office. I think this is going to.
Possibly.
I think it will of all time.
I think it should. The only reason I think it doesn't is because, well, Avatar held the number one spot for a long
And then
time.
Endgame,
and then
Endgame kind of cheated.
they did because they re-released it.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that with this movie.
No,
I don't think.
but I don't know, man. The fact that I mean, a lot of people know. It's been spoiled for a lot of people, like for sure. The amount I've seen it on Instagram, there's no way. Or yeah, on Instagram,
Or TikTok even.
Yeah,
Or even
I feel
Facebook.
like people seeing that,
Yeah.
people that weren't gonna see it are now gonna go see it.
Yep.
So I don't know if this isn't number one, it'll be up there with some of the most watched or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So drifting off, Presley, what's on your mind today?
Oh yes.
Oh, I bet we're all interested to hear
Presley
this.
thoughts.
No, well, let me think.
Come on. Come on.
Mm.
You had to have had one of these conversations with yourself in the mirror.
I do.
And,
I did
and
do
you
that.
and you do.
And I do.
So,
So every now and then I'll have a conversation with myself in the mirror because
Right.
I live alone. Who else am I going to talk to?
your grandmother.
She's upstairs.
You
Well,
can't
that's not
walk
living alone.
upstairs.
Well, I don't know.
You could go up and you could
Have
watch a
you-
Christmas
hold on,
Vacation
hold
with
on.
her.
Since you have lived here,
Mhm.
have you seen your grandmother?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see her like on a regular basis.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
She's probably wanting to see you every now and
Well,
then.
I'm going to see her like this week. It's Christmas. I'm going to see her like this
I
weekend.
don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
I don't know. It's a scary place. I don't really think. Look, what shocks people when I say things, I don't think I realize it until after I've said it.
Mhm.
Like the Canadians thing.
Or the turtleneck.
Can we
thing.
get into that?
Yeah,
Can we
actually,
talk
the
about that?
Canadians
You're
thing, yes.
special.
Let's talk about that.
I am special.
Gosh.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So
It's gonna hurt my head.
A little. It does every time. A little while ago, I was a little tired. We were playing Fortnite.
Mhm.
It was a little late, and I was like, guys,
Back in the day.
back in the day when Fortnite was good, and I was like,
Back
guys,
in the day.
I think Canadians aren't white.
Something like that.
Something to that effect. I'm like, no, they're not white because they're Canadian. Canadian isn't white. They're when we call like someone white, you can't. They're Canadian. They're not white.
Me and our buddy Schmear went berserk.
Yeah.
He, especially Schmear,
AKA.
Yeah. No, we're just gonna leave it at Schmear.
We're just gonna leave it a schmear.
Yeah, that's what
that's all you need to know.
What
I
everyone
feel like
calls
you'd
him.
appreciate
That's all
that.
they need to know.
Rest in peace, Schmear.
Schmear.
He's not actually dead. but
AKA
we're-
Peter Parker.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Schmearker.
Schmear is a very smart and intelligent person.
Yes. Without
And-
even trying.
Yeah.
He hates ignorance with a passion. And I don't think I've ever heard him so just like uncomfortably upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
To speak for him, he was like, because you started freaking out,
Mhm.
and he was like, hold on, let's hear him out. What are you saying?
He
And
just
I
said
was
his
like,
real name, so we got to bleep that out in editing.
no, it's fine.
But-
Schmearker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even realize I did that. Schmearker was like, hold on, let's hear him out. And I re-explained it. He's like, what?
And rightfully so.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
so.
It was so stupid.
Canadian is a nationality. Nationality is different
Yeah.
from race.
Well, yeah,
I kid you not. It was a Friday. I think it was a Friday night, so we had time. We were gonna be on late.
yeah.
I kid you not. I think we sat in the lobby for 2 hours trying to explain
It
this.
wasn't
to him.
2 hours.
No, yes,
no.
yes, it was.
At least 20
It
minutes.
felt like 10,
Ah.
but it was more like 2. We were like, Presley, are we American or are we white?
And
We
that's
were
when
like,
I-
both. So, what are Canadians? It was like, well, we're
They're
Canadian.
Canadian. They're white.
Oh my God.
But I remember when it finally clicked with you.
And I was like,
because we said something, it was something like that, and you went, oh my gosh. I understand now.
I thought I
understand.
I thought I was having like a
The
revelation.
Honestly,
rest of that
if
night, me and Schmear could not believe it.
Gosh.
Yeah, but
If
Presley
Schmear
has-
ever comes on the show, I swear he needs to have his own segment, like kind
Oh,
of
I'm
like
sure.
Family Guy. He needs to be like, "This is what grinds my gears."
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But
I've had a couple instances like that recently.
really,
I call them Presley thoughts, where I'll just think things that are just nonsensical,
Presley
and I'll be
thoughts.
like, "Oh,
come on, we're here.
yeah, that doesn't make sense. Well, I
Talk
can't
about
do it on demand.
Okay, why not?
I'm not a machine."
So have y'all ever just like seen something in public that just like stuck with you? Like, I mean, it can be like funny or just strange, or just like, I don't know, walking or driving down the road and you see something and you don't know what to think. It's just weird.
I feel like I already know what yours is.
Probably.
Is it recent?
Kind of.
Okay, well, yeah.
Like, has that happened to y'all?
I mean, yeah, I've had interesting occurrences outside my homestead. Some of which I do not like
Well-
talking about, but yes.
Well, look, if you just need to find examples for yourself, go to Walmart, sit in the parking lot for 20
You'll see
minutes.
something.
Oh,
You'll
exactly.
see something.
Oh no, I mean, I don't know if you want to bleep this out or not, but one time when I was at a Target in California, like it was just a Target in a nice town or whatever in California, called Runner Park, and as it was just my mom, my sister, and myself, as we were walking into the Target, we looked across the long parking lot, and all the way over to our right, we're like, oh, there's a drug deal going down over there.
Yeah.
And Runner Park, it is a nice family town, or at least it was a nice family town when we lived there however long ago. and it's not known for anything like that. And it was, and the target was pretty decent. And we just looked over, and they're like, "Oh, there's a whole bunch of shady guys over there exchanging money and some other stuff." I mean, I was too young at the time to understand that it was a drug deal, but I looked over, and I'm just like, "Oh, what's going on?" My mom just took me by the shoulder, and she's just like, "Okay, we're gonna go into Target now." So there have been some things like that to where I'm just like,
And then when you went to the
just
bathroom,
happened?
your mom snuck off. She got some drugs, and then
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
good.
Well, I was hoping not to discuss that part.
Yeah.
I didn't want to disclose that.
Yeah.
So
This
Well,
is
you know,
this is a
'cause-
joke.
no, my mom does not do drugs.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen in public. This blew my mind. I won't say like which college I go to. Y'all know. I'm just a fan.
Okay, I'm just a fan.
So I was going to class one day last year. I was just making my way to class, and on the it's a big campus, so you see a lot of people biking their way to wherever they're going, whether it's class, back to their dorm, whatever. And so I heard a bike coming down the sidewalk, so I got over to the right, and so did this other guy that was in front of me. And so the bike goes, he pulls over real quick, and he stops. He's got a backpack on. He throws his backpack down. He unzips it really fast, and me and the guy in front of me are just like, we just stop what we're doing. We're just looking at this guy. I was ready to run. I didn't know I didn't know if he had like a weapon or something. I don't know. But this man throws his backpack down. He's rummaging through his backpack. He pulls out this block, like of tinfoil. I'm like, what? He opens it up and he throws it on the ground, gets on his bike, and he rides off on his bike. This man threw down a block of cream cheese with a bite taken out of it.
What?
I kid you not. This sounds like a fake story, I know. But it's very real. This guy in front of me, we're both looking at this. He turns at me. He goes, "Man, I love it. I love it here." I'm like, "Me too." He's like, "Have a good day." I was like, "Yeah, you too." We went to class. That I'm never going to be able to forget about that. Zach, you remember talking to me about this. You had an idea of what it was, right?
Oh my God. I was dying. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, the best thing I could come up with is that a lot of people like to make, to put it nicely, herb butter. And that would be my best guess of what it probably was. But a bite taken out of it?
Yeah.
Dear God, that man must have been tweaking.
I mean, it was just like, it wasn't like a big old hunk. It was just obvious. There was a little chunk taken out of it. It looked like, because, like the Philadelphia pack of cream cheese.
Yeah.
It like comes in the box and then it has tin foil. I worked in a grocery store, so I knew like immediately like what it probably was. And yeah, he kind of opened it up and he just chucked it on the ground and he was gone. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. In my life. And I don't think it's even close.
I was gonna say, like, have you found yourself like on YouTube of a compilation of a guy just doing something random and running away?
I mean, yeah,
You might
seen
be-
stuff like that.
Yeah, you
but
might
not
be
like
on there.
that.
You might be on there somewhere.
Maybe. I need to do my research then.
Yeah,
But like, yeah.
that's the only thing I can think of. Like, what? Unless he's on drugs.
Like
what-
I've been to New York City twice. Never seen anything like that.
Well, the college campuses are
they're
they're weird.
Yeah,
They're
a lot of
weird.
them. But there's also right outside of the campus. There's a lot of homeless people. So I don't know if he was homeless or just cracked out or whatever was going on with him.
All of the above. I don't know.
Yeah,
All we know is that he was disappointed in the cream cheese.
yeah.
He's like, he took a bite out of it, was munching on it while he was riding his bike. He's like, "This sucks."
This sucked.
So you don't have anything like in public that you've seen.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and you were there for it.
What?
You remember that time we were driving down the road and there was this guy that was in a lane that he shouldn't have been or something, and on Main Street there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we were going to get something to eat.
Oh my gosh!
And like we were
Forgot
driving
about
by,
this.
and this guy like almost came out in front of us,
Yeah.
and we almost hit him. So he gave him a little honk, like "Whoa!" And then we went on about ourselves. Well, about 8 seconds later, this guy is in his SUV. He's got his window down. He's like hanging out half of it, and he's like
driving down the road.
and he's like, "I'm gonna beat y'all up. You think it's funny to honk at people?" I was like, dude, you almost pulled out in front of us.
This man was, cursing like a sailor.
He was upset.
I started laughing so hard. I thought it was hilarious.
Which you would think would almost diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no, it's gonna
made
make
him
it worse.
more upset.
it would
He
make it worse.
started, oh, you think that's funny, huh? And he started
Yeah, he started swerving at us. He almost
really?
hit my car.
like he was going to hit us. And that's why I was like, okay, this guy's actually an actual lunatic.
Yeah, and then at one point he said something, and I said, "God loves you,"
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, you!" That made me laugh even harder.
No, what he said was, what was that initially? He's like, why don't y'all get out the car and pull over? I'll
That's
beat
right.
y'all up. I was
Yeah.
like, sure.
Just
First
funny.
off.
This man was overweight and like 55.
Yeah. By himself, and there's two of us.
Yeah, maybe in his 60s. I don't know.
Yeah, he was an older guy.
Yeah.
And I was like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not as weird as a cream cheese thing, but
That was weird.
That was fun.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
One time I got robbed by a homeless person.
Really?
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Evan, I don't know if you remember this, but this was actually when we were in school and we went to that Shakespeare in the Park event.
Yes.
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 There was like this, like, I don't know how to explain it. So like there was these food trucks there and they have some amazing Thai food at this event. Right. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go get some Thai food and then we're going to go sit down and we're going to go watch the Shakespeare thing. So I'm waiting in line and I've ordered my food and I'm just kind of waiting by the food truck. And there's quite a few homeless people around here and they'll ask for money. And most of the time I'll just say no, because like, you really don't know what they're buying. So whatever. I'm just sitting there on my phone and I'm waiting for my food. And I kid you not, out of nowhere, I don't know where this guy came from. This like 6'5" brolic dude walks up to me and I'm going to get closer to the mic for the effect. He was like, "Hey man, you got some money?" I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, sorry, man, not really. He's like, "Hey bro, can you spare me $1? I saw you got $1. You can spare me $1. And I was like, you can spare me that $1. I know you want to spare me. You can spare me that. I had to give him the $1, dude. He was so close to my face. Yeah. I don't think he was tweaking, but he was just so aggressive. I was like, God, you obviously need this $1.
I know. I remember that story because I remember
I went and ate Thai food.
Yes, exactly. Because I remember you telling me that story right after it happened. Because I was already sitting down. I think I already had my Thai food, or I just didn't want any. One of the two. Remember, you sat down next to me and you just look at me and you're like, "I think I've just been robbed by this huge homeless dude." And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Wait, dude, I've left you for 5 minutes. What happened?" I'm like, "How did this happen? We're in like Centennial Park,
Like broad daylight.
Well, it wasn't broad daylight, but it wasn't that dark.
It was like sunset. Yeah.
I mean, it was closer. It was like what, like 6-ish, somewhere around
something
there.
like that.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, it wasn't super bright, but it wasn't pitch black or that dark or anything. So I mean, other people must have saw him. I remember I was like, "I saw you 5 minutes ago." I think I walked up with you to get Thai food, or like you walked up after I already got mine, so we passed each other by. But just like, okay, well, good to know. Don't mess with
that did start my love for Thai food. So that is a good thing to come out of this story.
that part is good. Thai food is objectively amazing.
Wait, did you give him $1? Like
Actually, I'm remembering now. I'm pretty sure it was a 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it was a 20,
$20,
which would make more sense than that guy. I mean, $20 still isn't that much, but it would make more sense than, "Yo, man, I see you have one George Washington in your wallet. I need that $1."
You can't buy anything for $1.
Yeah, you can't buy anything for $1. So
yeah, no, weird.
Unless he was going to the strip club and was just gonna give him $1 for a little.
That's not gonna be very long.
Not a very good job they're doing there. Anyway, so
wait, I have some more.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, you have one.
No,
I don't think you shared.
I was like the first to share with like the weird drug deal at the Target parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, something to that effect.
Okay.
So, can I give locations in this? I mean, for the people who know, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so there's this town close by, Columbia, and both times that I've reached, I don't go there a lot. It's not a great place that I would want to be at night. One of those types of, like, it's fine during the day and like on the square, like it's fine, and it's a really cool place, and they're really trying to develop it a little bit. Not as bad as it used to be, but anyway, the 2 recent times that I've been there, I've ran into this same guy twice.
Okay.
Don't remember his name, but you talk about one of the weirdest things I've seen in public.
Mhm.
This man was just, as if it was a stroller, was just walking his lawnmower. And like twice, both times I
Where?
saw him in Columbia
Like on the road?
on the street.
Wait, like he was walking a
like,
lawnmower?
yeah, like not on the road with the cars, but on the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
And he
Do
was
you
driving
think he
by.
was walking to get a gas?
No, this is what he said to me. He came up and it's like I had the same conversation twice, like deja vu, because both times, and the second time he didn't recognize me. It was the same guy. He looked cracked out of his mind, and he just walked up to me. He's like, "Hey man, do you have any money?" And I was like, I mean, and one of the times I had food, I was like, "No, I don't." And I don't think I actually did have cash. I was like, "No, I don't have any money, but I'm not gonna finish this. Would you like the rest of this food?" It was like barbecue or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, man. I've just been walking around looking for yards to mow, and he's like, you got a yard I can mow?" I was like, I don't live near here. I live pretty
Walking
far
around.
Yeah, that's why he's walking around with the lawnmower,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, I guess you got to do what you got to do, but. I was like, no, I live far away, and but I'd be happy to give you this food if like this is all I have. I don't think I had any cash.
I have a full block of cream cheese to give you. I
Yeah.
only took one bite.
You like cream cheese?
He traveled all the way to Knoxville.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
traveled all the way to Knoxville, threw it on the ground.
Stole a bike.
Yeah, and that's how they end up meeting.
And then I saw him again, cracked out of his mind. Asked me it was like the same conversation, and it's like, yeah, I felt bad for him. But
No, I just realized
that's
I gave
weird.
away where I go to school. I go to UT Knoxville.
There you go.
Go Vols.
Yeah, I
Speaking
don't know,
of
man,
which,
now your safety
I
is
have a
in-
question.
Yeah.
If you were to see that guy again, do you think you would recognize him?
If
Me?
I would,
No, I was talking about Shmeb, the
Oh.
cream cheese guy. Do you think you would recognize him again
No.
if you saw him?
No. I was legitimately a little scared. Like
Oh, man.
I don't remember what he looked like. I just remember
Golly.
because a lot of the time, because I had stopped, and so he was in front of me, and so I really just saw the back of him. He was scrawny and probably my height, about 6 feet or so. That's yeah. Yeah, he had like blonde curly hair. I don't remember what his face looks like exactly.
Why are you asking?
Okay.
You want to like hunt him down? Ask why you threw the cream cheese?
Yeah, no kidding. I've just been sitting here wondering if there's a video online of you, like,
Yeah.
of that happening. That would be the greatest thing if I could find that.
My reaction, I was standing there just like,
What?
yeah.
I think that's the only proper reaction if someone were to actually do that.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
what are you supposed to do? Like pick it up, just take a chomp? Like,
You okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
You okay?
Yeah.
Take a chomp out of that cream cheese?
Gosh.
I don't know.
What else? Anything else weird?
I'm sure there's stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, like I said, it's Christmas Eve. So
yes.
y'all done with your Christmas shopping?
Yep.
Are you?
Yes, actually.
Not Christmas like present wrap. I haven't wrapped anything,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I have.
I got done with that yesterday.
I've done all that.
So what makes Christmas for you guys?
Ooh.
It's a little bit of a tough question, I know.
It's
All right.
it's packed.
Uh,
You want to go?
If,
Yeah,
obviously, for us, like the birth of Jesus, like that's the biggest.
That's the
most-
big. That's the big one.
Yes, we have the Jesus.
Yeah.
The Jesus.
Yes, exactly. I'll start off. I mean, I know it's a cliche and familiar one. Everyone's heard of it, but for me, it really is true, in that it is family. Because Christmas has
Right.
always been my favorite holiday.
Amen.
It's always been, yeah, exactly. It's always been my favorite holiday for a lot of different reasons. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, like gifts are fun and whatnot. I mean, who doesn't like them? But for me, it always was nice because that was a holiday to where my family would always host it. We would always get the whole family together, and it was just a really nice day. With the exception of one Christmas to where I was pretty sick, have nothing but amazing memories of every single Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's gotta
Like that.
suck.
Rib Zach.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
you're feeling better though, right? Like I was like dying on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. I will say though, none of my parents finished their Christmas shopping, or I'm pretty sure did any of it. So
Oh.
I'm not really gonna have a Christmas.
Oh no, I'm
But-
sorry about that.
Well, Christmas
But
is about
it's
more
okay.
than things.
It's okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like for me,
exactly.
with
There
my
are worse
but
things.
Yeah, but with me it was just family and how much we would all get together because it would just be a really nice time getting together, and then the traditions that also come with that. Because for every single Christmas, at least for as long as I can remember, my mom has always made like stuffed cabbage.
Stuffed cabbage.
Yes,
How
it
do you
is
stuff-
very
Oh my
very good.
God,
How does
it's
one
so
stuff-
I've had
good.
stuffed cabbage, but
But
like,
how does one
it-
stuff a cat?
do you
Okay,
Is
so
that like
cabbage?
that's a
so
Christmas
how-
tradition? Interesting.
Well, it is for me and my family because my family is Hungarian, and my mom learned this recipe. I mean, from her mom as well, but mainly from her grandma, or
Yeah.
my great grandma, who I believe originally lived in Hungary, but then moved to the U.S. when she was pretty young. But it is a recipe from Hungary that's been passed down. It's just like, I won't go fully into detail, but for how you stuff a cabbage is that you just get like a cabbage leaf. You don't take a whole cabbage, cut a hole, and then put stuff in it. You get like a cabbage leaf, and then you put in like meat and some other stuff, and
Like,
you roll it up.
I was thinking
and
more
then
like
you
a
cook it in a
pumpkin.
big.
Have you seen like a
no.
stuffed pepper?
Yeah, have you eaten like a stuffed
yeah.
pepper?
Like
It's-
jalapeno.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
cut it in half.
Yeah, it's like the same concept with that. But anyway, explaining that aside, there would be different traditions. Like my mom always making that family recipe, or different things with. I mean, everyone of course has like doing stockings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then also like signature gifts. We would always give around like the same signature gift that was like ugly, but we all knew it, and it would just like keep going around from family member to family member. So it just has a lot of family, a lot of tradition, and obviously we mentioned Jesus and whatnot. But for me, that's what has always really made Christmas for me special. Is that it's just the day to where I feel not necessarily closest to family. That's not the right word, but it's a day to where I feel very well connected to family, and just it reminds me of the situation that I've been put in. So I've always loved.
Yeah,
Christmas.
that's kind of the same for me. Like, our family does so much during Christmas time, and like, I had Christmas with part of my mom's side Saturday. She's got step family, so we do some with her side of the family then, and then on Christmas Day we'll do stuff with her sister, and my grandfather and my dad's sister, and the day after that we're gonna do stuff with my dad's side. Like, it's just like constant. Like, we're doing a lot on Christmas, but that's why I love it.
Yeah.
We're doing a ton. It's my mom's side, my grandfather, not as much anymore, but almost every year when we would do Christmas with him and that side, he would get so drunk. And it was always the funniest thing. There's a picture that used to be on our refrigerator at home of like all the grandkids in a picture, and he's like laying across the table, like posing. I remember that night. I was probably 12 or 13. He was gone.
That's
But
hilarious.
it's funny. But yeah, Christmas isn't about being drunk.
For some people it is.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's
For
a
him.
little eggnog. But no, for me, like I said earlier, I am a Christmas geek, and so as soon as it hits November 1st, I'm ready. Like, I'm listening to music, like watching Christmas movies. Like, all right, if you want the deep answer why I really like Christmas, it sounds depressing, but I promise it's not. Christmas to me has always been like where I am the happiest. And that is because a lot of other people and my family are happy and excited and joyful and cheerful. And that to me is just like really comforting.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I look forward to it every year, because it's a time in the world where I feel like we aren't as divided.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, our world is very divided. But during Christmas time, it doesn't seem as much. You know, like, even if you're not a Christian, a lot of people celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just very comforting time for me. But then also not just Christmas, but like Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then New Year's, like that whole time.
the
is
holiday
like,
season. Yeah.
Yes, it's the best time of year for me.
It really is.
And for a lot of people I know.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one, because I mean it's pretty much the same thing with me, because a lot of people in my family, I mean people in my immediate family are Christian, but I know a lot of people that are not Christian, very much more so on the opposite end. And just how you mentioned it, just you feel so, when Christmas comes, you just feel so connected. And it's not like we're up in arms or fighting at other points in time. Like that's not true, but
Yeah.
it's just really nice
Yeah.
to have that experience with everyone to where it doesn't really matter too much this or that. It's just you can come together either as a family or as close friends to where you're basically a family and
Right.
you can just celebrate together and have a good time. And like
Yeah.
you said, it's where you don't feel as divided into where everyone's their happiest or
Yeah.
close to their happiest.
I love giving stuff too. I couldn't do it as much this year because I'm a broke college student.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But the gifts I gave to my family, I feel like they're really gonna like it. It's our last Christmas in the house we grew up in, and so me and my sister went in on a little sentimental thing for both my parents, and then I got my dad something pretty sentimental. And my mom, I got her something for the new house. But yeah, I think they should like that. What about you, Presley?
What makes Christmas or
Yeah.
what I get my parents?
Either, whatever.
So in order, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food.
That is a good start. I agree with this list
like
so far.
food.
I agree.
Yeah. So far, I agree.
Yeah, and 4, gift giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And receiving.
And well, you know.
It's not selfish.
No, I
You
mean,
like-
I really do like giving people stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like putting the thought into it, and that's kind of something. It sounds weird, but I'll kind of like try and think of that for next Christmas. Like if I notice something in the year leading up to it,
Yeah.
I do that for birthdays, and
Yeah.
I just like giving people stuff.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I also love food
Yeah.
and family
Yeah.
and Jesus.
Yeah.
So in that order too, like Jesus, family, food, gift giving.
Mhm.
Big,
Yeah.
big fan.
All right. Bald man? Zach is bald for the ones that can't see him. Zach
Yes,
is very
exactly.
bald.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
very bald.
It's
Um,
recent.
great. It's
Recent.
okay.
He's
No,
actually my
I-
fourth favorite bald person. Anyway.
Yeah, 4th. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. David Bell beats me, but that's fine.
Yeah, and in a future podcast, we'll talk about how Presley ranked his top 10 favorite bands.
Sat down.
Yes, exactly.
Ranked them.
We'll get
Yeah,
into
And
that
his
in
presentation.
That's quite a
another
story.
day. But
Yeah.
Zach,
But,
what makes Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah, as far as Christmas goes, I mean, I think y'all really hit the nail on the head. Love family. Definitely the closest I feel to them at any point in time during the year. I do love giving gifts. I have already gone broke, so that's going to be interesting coming into the New Year's. But yeah, it's a good time. Do love me some Jesus. Got to admit, celebrating his birthday is pretty all right. Also, another thing I feel like we kind of skipped over decorating the house.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is
decorating.
fun.
Find that to be a bear, but I really
I disagree.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
this is
It's a good
Presley's
time.
Christmas tree.
That's
Yeah,
my
that
Christmas
is.
tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, oh my god,
that's
that's
it.
all you have in your entire
Wait,
apartment.
he's got some
I've
lights
got
over
some
there
lights
too.
over there, but
Freaking
listen, I
Grinch.
just moved into this place
Exactly.
recently, and I feel like I've already decorated enough. I am so tired of
That's
moving
fair.
and decorating and rearranging.
fair.
I'm sick.
Your old
of it.
apartment,
That's
you did
all right.
decorate.
I
but you
did.
had already been there.
I did
Yeah,
put
that's
up a
fair.
tree, but I was there like a month or two prior.
Yeah.
So
I will say, does anybody have? Because another section we skipped over is obviously Christmas music is a huge thing.
Oh.
Does anyone have like a favorite? Do you just like holiday music in general,
Yes.
or is it? Well, yes, but or do you have like a specific Christmas song where like you know what, this one's my favorite?
It's kind of like Christmas movies. I kind of bounce around.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
like I like Michael Bublé Christmas, and then
yeah.
like you got Frank Sinatra, and like
Pentatonics.
yeah, Pentatonics isn't like your classic, but I do like some of theirs. Some of their Christmas music I don't like too much. Andy Williams, that's one I like. All I Want for Christmas Is You by
By Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. That's like
That is
Right.
that is a good song.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a huge Mariah Carey fan, that
I wouldn't
song
say
is
that's
good.
my favorite one.
Yeah, it may
but-
not be the best. It's the most popular version nowadays.
Like you got like Jingle Bell Rock and like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree and like stuff like that. I like Silent Night. Silent Night's a good one,
No.
Chills.
depending on the version.
I think y'all are close, but y'all haven't hit the nail on the head yet. and
The
that
First
is
Noel.
The Christmas song by Nat King Cole is by far the best.
What'd you say?
The what?
What song?
I said the Christmas song by Nat King Cole.
Oh, the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. That one.
Yeah.
That was a delay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
stupid.
cool.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it. Yeah. That is good.
Another.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say another one I like that not a whole lot of people think of is Mela Kaliki Maka.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Hey, Christmas
just-
Vacation.
Yeah, I've just always liked that song.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
This particular Christmas, that one's gotten a little worn out for me. Because at work, we had like this decoration contest where different departments
Sure,
would
you did
decorate.
great.
I decorated a tree or two
Okay.
and put up some lights and etc.
You put up this tree.
I took
you
that from work.
I took that from work.
No, so the theme was that we went with for whatever reason was a Hawaiian Christmas. So
So you heard Mela Kaliki Maka.
so much.
Oh yeah.
So much.
You probably wanted to bash a pineapple over your head. How many times I heard it?
I wasn't the only one in that department that was done with it. We're like, get rid of the, grass skirts, the pineapple, all that stuff.
I'm
Least
sorry, who was
favorite.
wearing grass skirts at your work?
Oh, Presley was.
They had on other clothes. Okay? It wasn't just that.
man.
It was that and the coconut bra. But that's it. That's it.
I like so the Polar Express song, like just instrumental with no like lyrics or anything. I think that sounds cool. But have y'all seen or heard the one with lyrics?
I don't
Josh,
think I have,
by Josh
actually.
Groban.
I have.
That's really good. That gives me chills. That's a really
I like
good
the hot
song.
chocolate song.
Yeah. Hot
Yeah.
chocolate. The Home Alone song, I like that one, and the Elf song.
Yeah, a lot of the themes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the Elf soundtrack is a good one.
yeah. What else? I said the First Noel. I like the First Noel. I don't know. Yeah.
Least favorite Christmas song for me. Disagree if you want. I don't even remember the name of it. It's the one that's like.
Oh, White Christmas.
Yeah, that's a.
You don't like that?
No, it's so weird.
Wait,
It's just
Bing
somebody, like-
Crosby?
Yeah, it's somebody just mumbling into a mic, and then that weird, like high pitched.
Oh, that's fair, I
That
guess.
puberty solo.
There's different versions. There's different versions of White Christmas.
Maybe I've just
though.
heard the wrong version.
That's one of the more famous versions. That's the one in like Home Alone with the scene like he puts the aftershave on.
aftershave.
Yeah, but that is weird.
It's weird if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just somebody like mumbling low notes into a mic. It just
Yeah. Well, anything else, guys?
bald.
Bald, you got anything?
No, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Me
yes.
too.
Thank you
Well,
for having me on.
Yeah.
First podcast
Not
down.
bad.
If you're listening, thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing. This was just something that we were like, hey, let's do it. Me and Presley have been talking about it for a while. We're like, you know what? While I'm home from school, let's just do this.
It's like a year and a half.
Yeah. But no, we got Presley.
Yeah.
I'm Shmev. We got Evan and Zach is calling in. Thank you for tuning in for a session of Awkwardness. Have a good Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.